Today, from Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, Florida, it's Week 13 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Tua Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins taking on Zach Wilson and the New York Jets.
Well, much of the country is struggling under cold temps and some of that white stuff. No such troubles here at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. This crowd a few minutes ago stirred into action at the side of their Dolphins emerging from the Hard Rock Stadium tunnels, and we're ready to go as the Dolphins get set to match up with the New York Jets. Hi, everyone. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one. The streak continues, doesn't it? They come in here a perfect 11-0. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. Fielded just outside the goal line and up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. They will be led out by the 6-foot lefty from Alabama. It's Tua Tagovailoa.
And it felt like it watching the game tape. He got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. One touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
Tua now on first down. Well, he's going to take a shot right away. A leap, and he's got it. He got it. A huge play there right off the bat.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 21 carries, 117 yards.
They've got a nice scheme going right now, and they run the football pretty well. In fact, I was talking with him on the field before the game, and he said he's starting to hear from the guys ahead of him on the rushing yardage total, and they want to know if he's going to jump up there and join them at the top of the list.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. So they've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Dolphins take it right down and score on the opening drive. And Sanders down for the extra point. And that makes it 7-0 Dolphins. So that drive, 6 plays, 75 yards. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They're led out by a former #2 overall pick in the draft from BYU, it's Zach Wilson.
And what was really attractive about Zach Wilson coming out of college, coming out of BYU, his ability to create and make plays when many people thought they didn't exist. But what's been even better is watch him improve in the pocket, able to hit the back foot, make the right read, and the right throws.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The numbers for him from a week ago: 23 carries, 92 yards.
And he's hoping to have the same type of game, but he's going up against the #1 defense in the league, and they're very good at fitting the run. So now you've got to think offensive strategy, maybe a little more play action, and try and find some people open downfield.
Wilson's throw, it's complete into the hands of Higbee. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. This is fielded at the 27. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And it'll be Dolphin football. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
He'll let this go deep for runs. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. It's a big play there for Miami. A one-handed catch, that's one thing, but with a defender right there, that was a heck of a play.
It used to be that one-handed catch was instinctive in a game. Now it's a practiced move. They work on it before, after, during practice sessions. It becomes part of their repertoire, and it pays off.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
Well, Brennan, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown, you're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. And they'll run again. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Dolphins have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their 2nd drive. And the last drive, their 1st drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. And they'll run on the inside handoff. He'll be dropped at the 30. The first broken tackle couldn't bust him free. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Throwing is Wilson. That's complete to his tight end, Higbee. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. They were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
A good start to the drive. Here's that's caught out on the left side. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Looking to pass. Tua. He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
The CD, this offense at 11-0 now on the year. A few weeks ago, I remember asking you what kind of percentage chance that you thought they had at staying unbeaten the entire season. I think you said 25%. I'd imagine that number probably grown since then.
I would agree with you, and I'm going to actually bump it up to closer to 50%. Only because they still have some tough games to come, and keeping that focus throughout the entire season, that's been a really difficult thing to pull off. But so far, they've done it, and they've done it well.
He had his eyes on the end zone once he hit the secondary, but they're finally able to slow him down.
Yeah, and I've got to look at this one from the defensive point of view. You just mentioned finally able to slow him down. They've got to figure out a way to make that at the point of attack, at the line of scrimmage, because once he gets through, he's shredding them.
They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. And to give this time to the tailback. A nifty move on the run, but ultimately stops short of the goal line down at the 2. A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be 2nd and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
He'll try again. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. Doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. Well, this has all the makings of a landmark day running the football. He scored 3 times now. We haven't hit the quarter break.
You think back to Alvin Kamara on Christmas Day 2020, 6 touchdowns, which tied Ernie Nevers, the Hall of Famer. He's halfway there already. Some fancy footwork in the early going.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes the score 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
On second down, it's Porter, and he'll be brought down right around the 37.
Well, these two teams met down in Miami earlier this year with the Dolphins winning that one. So they're looking for the season sweep with a win here in Miami.
On first down, Porter. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. From the shotgun, Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete. We saw a lot of that a week ago defensively from him. AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Just always seems to be around the football.
I like your observation there. Understands the game, understands positioning, can put himself in the right spot, and then make a play on the football.
It's a 39-yard punt, 8 on the return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
Miami's offense set and ready to go.
And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
Two and now on first down.
He'll let this go deep for Ruggs.
Oh, a leap, and he will make the catch. It's a big play there for Miami.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for first and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw.
Looking for Ruggs again, and he's got him again. And the Dolphins are going to have a first and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line. Our score after one. This offense continues to be a hot knife through butter. 3 drives, 3 scores, and knocking on the door again on drive number 4.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be second and goal. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his full.
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. On his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins are able to add on to their first-half lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes the score 28-0. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. New York's offense back out there and set to go.
They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. And he'll give it here to his running back. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away.
A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return.
And that will come the offense as they take over.
Miami set to take over.
They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent.
And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. It's a big play there for Miami.
How about the first half he's putting together? Well over 100 yards. Already with that last catch, and to me, they'd be well served to keep looking his way. A number of big plays already in this one.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down.
Switch. Watch twitch.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Check 26. Check 13.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown.
Dolphins open the lead up to 34-0. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead will swell by one more. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. 2nd and 8. From the gun, it's Wilson. Open man is Higbee, the tight end. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-body tight ends, and why not? Nowadays,
oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it's a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
Here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Here's Tua. Over the middle and complete to Waddle. And oh, he coughed it up, and the Jets have recovered.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball, you know there's going to be some traffic. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. And the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball?
After review the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. On 2nd down now, Singleton, and he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A 10-yard touchdown run, and the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And a rout is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Zach Wilson and the Jet offense set to take over here. In 2nd quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
So this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Mike, 55. Right there in the middle. 55. We own them. We own them. Ready.
Now Wilson. He finds his man, complete. That's Porter. And he'll be pulled down, and now a late flag will come with it. And that's in the area of a face mask, I think.
Come on, dog.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching off another 15 against your squad.
So now factoring in the face mask, here's 1st and 10.
Let's put that team on the
They'll try the left side. It's Porter. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Let's go.
Here's Wilson. Gets this into the hands of the tight end, Higbee. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. It's Porter, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
From the 35 on 2nd down, Wilson.
This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But 3rd down coming up.
The Jets on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Wilson. Open man, Higbee, the tight end. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the 1st down. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. The kick by Carlson is good. And they'll get back 3. But this remains a large deficit. So from an offensive perspective, at least able to get on the board here right in front of the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, now it's time to talk about complementary football, isn't it? Because if the defense can force a 3 and out, there could be enough time on the clock that they can get the ball back for their offensive guys and maybe put some more points on the board before the half.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Launches deep. A jump ball, and this is caught. 1:55 left to go in the 1st half of play. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. Setting to throw on 1st down is Tua. Dancing to his left. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Okay, he's not going to get the 1st down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
On 2nd down, Singleton. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on.
Boy, I mean, at this point, what more do we say here? I got nothing.
And you know, so many people talk all the time about having announcer-less games, and they want that. This could be a candidate for it, because if we stay here and do this, we're going to have a lot to fill in the 2nd half.
There's still another half.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the rout is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Zach Wilson and the Jet offense set to take over here.
He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to bounce that off with at least one touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward. You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. On 3rd and 1, Wilson.
Well, I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. It's taken to the 26.
A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt.
And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. It's a big play there for Miami. Typically with catches like that, we talk about the height of the wide receiver, but he's one of the shorter receivers in the NFL.
And it doesn't seem to matter, does it? Put the tape measure away. How about some of these guys under 6 feet tall? Antonio Brown, T.Y. Hilton, and Super Bowl 53 MVP, Julian Edelman.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in, and he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out, and the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. And partner, are you kidding me? With this game that he's having, we are in uncharted waters like we've never seen before.
Just think, if he keeps every football from all the touchdowns scored today, does he need to build a new trophy room?
Yeah. A couple trophy rooms. Maybe a whole home for trophy room.
What a phenomenal performance, and I'll guarantee you he's going to reward the rest of the offensive unit after this as well for helping him get to this number.
He better. This is just unreal. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Jets going to take over now late in this first half. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive.
They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer.
On 1st down, Wilson. Throw left side complete. That's Porter. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
4 yards remain for 2nd down.
55.
Wilson. Incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
To throw is Wilson.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted.
Picked off at the 35. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more.
An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
They'll run on first down. It's Blake, and he'll be taken down at the 34. Give the tackle to Hassan Reddick. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout as we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things definitely getting interesting around the NFL as we begin the month of December. So let's get right to it. We'll begin our trip around the NFL with an interesting one right off the bat. And it's the visitors who are out in front in the second quarter. Josh Allen has thrown 2 touchdown passes. From there, it's off to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at Lucas Oil Stadium. And they were winners in that ball game over the visiting Cleveland Browns. Daniel Jones, strong in the victory as his guys move to 9-3 now on the year. Finally, let's get down to the Bayou. Check in on the Saints at home at the Caesars Superdome. And this one going the visitors' way, as the Texans have the lead in that one. Chuba Hubbard with a touchdown run. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race. Very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Jets going to get the football first, and they trail as well as we get back underway in this second half. And we will not see a return to start the half, as this will be a touchback. Zach Wilson and the Jet offense set to take over here.
And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little, kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter.
Tackled by Isaiah Simmons.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Porter. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here's the Jets punter now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. .39-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half.
Tua and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10
at their 38. They run the counter. Singleton.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 70 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season.
They went counter there offensively, and a couple of defenders were on skates for a second.
They certainly were, and you know what offensive linemen love about the counters and the misdirections? Sometimes you don't even have to block the defender. He can run himself out of the play if he doesn't read his keys properly.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
And he's got this down to the 35.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Mike 27, Mike 27, Mike 27. So we got man. Check, Frank.
They run the counter. Dillard, and he'll be taken down at the 34. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back 1st downs. These two teams hooking up for the second time this year. They first met back in October, week 7. And it was the Dolphins with a road victory, so they'll look for the sweep now here in Miami.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
He's coming. We got double up.
Now a give right side. Blake pushing through the contact.
And he's going to get this down close to a first at about the Jets' 25.
It appears he'll be a few inches short, so 9 yards on the gain officially, and it'll be 3rd down.
Whip. Watch the whip. Watch twist.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he is going to have the Dolphins 1st down as they're able to move the sticks with a gain of 4 on 3rd and inches.
3rd and inches, just turn around, hand it to the big guy, and let him plow forward and pick up a 1st down. A lot of people think that the offensive line, they may almost take the play off because they got a big guy back there pushing forward. I think it actually works in reverse. I think they block harder because they love seeing that guy get the ball because he doesn't touch it very often.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They run the counter. It's Mullins. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. A gain of 3, 2nd down. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll keep it on the ground. Singleton. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. Needing the tough yards, they run him with their fullback. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on. And I guess that's where you turn on 4th and goal to your muscle back there. Hand him the football, he does the dirty work.
I think you're asking a lot of your defense there, right? Having to make the stand, have to prepare for just about any type of play to be called, and then here comes the power right at you. On that play, the big man got into the end zone.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. And New York set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
But when you see a quarterback retreating away from the line of scrimmage toward the other goal line like that, usually doesn't end well.
You're exactly right about that. Normally, if they're moving from side to side, they've got a chance maybe to get back upfield. He was trying to shake defenders and extend the play, but it doesn't work out very well for them at all. You need those extra yards on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Now you're digging a hole for your offense.
On 2nd down now, it's Porter. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. Now it's Wilson. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here's the Jets punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return.
Miami's offense set and ready to go.
And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's got room. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds.
86 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles, gain some additional yardage.
On 1st down, Singleton. They'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Check four. Begin.
They've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down and about the length of the football.
Let's go, D. It's gonna be a long day, offense. It's gonna be a long day. Shift.
On 3rd down, it's Blake, and he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards.
Check three. He's crafty. He's checking craft.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there with his 16th touchdown of the year.
And the Dolphins are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter.
And certainly some credit there for that touchdown goes to the offensive line.
They never get the credit they deserve in the stat sheet, but they are the reason that they got the points. Excellent job up front, clearing the way for the score.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
13 yards remaining on 2nd down.
There's Wilson to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here's the Jets punter now as he's on to kick it away. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
They'll run on first down. Blake. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
And even 100 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long.
And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
On second down, it's Mullins. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They run the counter. Dillard. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Hands it off out of the gun. And he's going to get this down close to a first at about the Jets' 23. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The offense on third down tonight, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. They're looking at third and a few inches. On the give, this is their fullback. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk at the 20.
3rd and inches, they just hand it to the big battering ram there. That's football 101, isn't it? That's bread and butter. Turn around and hand it to the big fella and let him get forward for a first down.
First down. It's Blake. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Dolphins add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. As that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominance in all 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams.
So don't we have to give a lot of credit, not just to what we've seen today, but the preparation in advance, coaching staff, commitment by the players to the game plan, and being ready to go in this one? You're exactly right. Clean sweep. And, boy, they're going to celebrate this one after it's over.
And on the other side, this is the game film you just flush and never go back and review.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Another drive coming up for New York's offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Again, he finds more. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now it's Wilson. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. Miami set to take over. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
Second down at 4. They run the counter. It's Mullins, and he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but... still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. The give to the fullback on the dive. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. This is where, 4th quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
But you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering where they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
They'll run on first down. Blake, and he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Rush in, rush in, rush in. Check, check. Fresno.
They run the counter. Singleton. And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
The Dolphins on third down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here 1st and 10. On first down, it's Blake, and he'll work this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
On 2nd down now, Singleton.
97 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. They'll keep it on the ground. Singleton.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that.
He needed 2. He got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And to give this time to the tailback. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Second down at 7.
They'll keep it on the ground. Singleton. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them. Well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these 2 teams meet. But until then, this game's over. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Dolphins, the streak continues as they push their mark to a perfect 12-0 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for the Jets, this loss cost them in the playoff chase as they fall back to 7-5 on the year. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.